Well, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm out here working on a Southern Ohio property, client property down here. Teamed up with Brad Harper, Harper Growing Solutions, and we're getting a lot of work done here on this property and kind of doing a turnkey property for this client. So wanted to bring you in here and kind of give you guys a part two, another video that I did, and basically where these bucks want to bed. Obviously I went over in my first video a lot of terrain features, what to look for before you start cutting. And now I kind of want to show you the part two of that video where I've done a lot of different cutting techniques and styles up on these terrain features down here in Southern Ohio. And so I want to kind of bring you guys in here, show you what I really like to do. And really the main thing is we're trying to mimic how these deer want to bed on these existing terrain features and just enhance that, get a lot more sunlight down here, gets our structure. Obviously we're going to build some beds and do some detail work in some of these areas. So right here we've got a big terrain feature. We've got a south facing slope, which is just phenomenal for late season. And then we've also got basically a top knoll here, and then it really drops off fairly steep, and then it kind of flattens off a little bit, and it's kind of right around that 3/4 of the way down the hill. And we've kind of got a teardrop system here with our walls of cover. We've got food at basically both ends of these terrain features. We've got a destination plot over to the east, and we've got another staging plot, kind of a micro early season plot over to the west. So what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get a lot of deer movement running east to west on this property. It's a long, narrow property that runs east to west. Access is predominantly up on the top back side of this hill on the north side. And so we're building a lot of screening in here, building a lot of bedding. Got some lower stand locations, and we've also got some higher stand locations over here. And so anyhow, I came in here, did a lot of different, hinge cutting, TSI work. We're opening up a lot of white oaks in here, open up some future good red oaks as well. And then as you can see here, we're taking advantage of these flat spots. Some of these are where existing beds were. We're just enhancing them, keeping them open. We built several entry and exit trails through here, and then basically came in here, built all of our structure. We've got a nice hinge cut elm here that will stay alive for a long time, provide lots of browse. And then we've got a really good flat spot here. You just came in here with a shovel and a rake, built our bed. And really what I'm trying to do is create a lot of bedding opportunities. So, I've got a bed here, bed a little bit lower, I've got a bed down there, and we're just gonna build multiple different beds all throughout this area. And really the goal for me is to just create volume. They might not use every one of these beds, and that's fine, but we wanna create bedding opportunities. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a little tour of this bedding section that we cut. It's probably right around an acre or 2 acres in size, a couple different knolls. So basically right here we've got a couple of different walls to cover here. We've cut open some really good entry and exit lanes through here. And we've got some beds down through here. And we're building kind of these tier section, teardrop areas. And then kind of step down here. So now it steps down into basically this travel corridor here, corridor trail. I don't know if you can see, but we've got the gator up there by that staging food plot. And this is just an existing travel corridor that we've enhanced. We've added a lot of structure, the walls of cover down below here. Obviously we've got more of our layers of walls cover up through the top of the hill here. And then we've got basically a travel corridor that leads all the way down through this terrain feature. And then the client's got a stand down here at the bottom where he can use. He's got a really big ditch, big swale that runs all the way down through there along his property line back towards the cabin. So he's gonna be able to sneak all the way into that stand, especially on a morning hunt. Be able to get in here. His thermals should pull down back through that ditch, or even if they're pulling up, a lot of this bedding is up high enough, and this travel corridor is up high enough where we're going to get away with some of that stuff. We've opened up a lot of these really nice white oaks in here. Got a lot of sunlight in here, and we're really trying to take advantage of trying to get as much flow, of deer movement, and some of these walls of cover running parallel with his property lines, basically from his back destination food all the way to the front. Another thing we're trying to do here with these terrain features is he's fortunate here where he doesn't have a lot of hunting pressure on both sides of him. And so we really want to take advantage of where a lot of these saddles and these ridge lines all connect into this piece. It's a smaller piece, and obviously there's a lot of really good properties around here, and I'm sure there's a lot of other bucks in this area that we really want frequenting and coming through and using this property. So we're really trying to take advantage of these terrain features and create a lot of these hub scrapes You know, we're taking a lot of these terrain features where they meet, and then we're adding all of our security cover to that, and then we're putting our stand locations there, we're putting scrapes there, our water hole, and then we're gonna go through here, and we're actually having a forestry mulcher come in through here. I'll show you some of that, and then we're gonna try to plant as many of these travel corridors as we can with like a clover chicory blend. That'll help with erosion on some of these hillsides, and then it'll also add a ton of food into these bedding areas. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. We'll give you some more shots and show you what else we're doing in here. But I just wanted to come on here and show you this property, and it's been a pretty cool project. So appreciate you guys watching, and we'll have some more content soon. All right, well, we're back here in the middle of the property here, walking one of these terrain features we've cut, and I got this marked out. Mulcher is going to come through here and mulch a lot of these stumps, get as much ground disturbance as we can. Right in front of me here is a really nice white oak we've opened up, so hopefully we're going to get some really good acorn production out of it, get some more oak regen in these spots, try to get some good soil disturbance in here, and then we'll kind of walk through. So we've got a wall of cover down through here, and we've got an access road on the back side of that wall of cover. And then we've got a big saddle here where it connects into the neighboring property that's been cut before, and there's actually no hunting pressure over there, so it works out really well. He gets a lot of bucks cruising through this big saddle into the property, and then they cruise down through here. We got a bunch of bedding. We got some more travel corridors running through here, so I'll take you down and show you those. You can see we got a nice mulch trail here. Got a lot of interconnecting pockets all through here. This basically leads back to that saddle, and then we've got a big ditch that runs down through here. And then we've got basically paralleling trails on both sides of this big ditch. And we're trying to get a lot of our movement, you know, running east to west, which is, you know, the way this property really runs. So, you know, you got a great view. You can kind of see all these different bedding areas. And we got this trail that basically winds around this terrain feature and then connects back in with the rest of the property and goes up to his destination food plot. So really, really awesome how this is turning out. Excited for clients to be able to hunt this and hopefully have some really fun hunts back here. So